What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Yakuza Kiwami 3. We officially got it from the RGG Direct. Look, overall, a lot of excitement, and they're doing what they did with past games, and, this is a game that they're really talking about building it from the ground up, probably more than anything they've done in the past. They have, whether it's re-recorded stuff, I think they had the actor for Kiryu talking about that, but also just adding to the game. Now, I'm recording this shortly after they're doing the presentation. They're eventually going to do more of a breakdown in terms of what exactly is going to change, I assume from a gameplay perspective. So I'll have to watch that. Maybe we can make a video tomorrow on what specifically is going to be changed in that department. But in terms of the visuals, they've been enhanced. The Rikia thing is definitely not my Rikia. I think is trending. It's shocking, to be honest with you. I believe there's 3 characters that they changed the face/actor of, and that one is alarming. I know a lot of people have said a lot of really nice things about the voice actor, but in terms of, oh my god, how he actually looks, like, is it visually more impressive? Maybe. I mean, it looks more modernized, but I think they took a massive step back to the point that, and I watched it live, I was watching this trailer live, I didn't recognize him, and I went on social media, I went on Twitter, and I saw a lot of people saying that the scene just went by and they didn't even put 2 and 2 together that it was actually him. So is that a big deal? I kind of think it is. He is a massively important character, one of the central characters of Yakuza 3, and to change his face as much as they did, holy dear God. So they're going to have to, I don't know, they'll have to somehow find a way to get around that situation, but beyond that, it does look really good. I am very interested to see the additions. I mean, and I didn't buy that Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. I had seen initially when it came out a lot of people warning others to actually stay away from it because of the additional things they put into that game. People talking about how it ruins several moments in the franchise. So don't love to see that originally. And then, in terms of this, am I going to play it? Of course I'm going to play it, but am I going to just assume that every change has been made, that has been made, I should say, is perfect? It's only going to enhance it? No, honestly, you have to look at these things, or I will look at these things from a pretty strict angle of hey, these games are very special. Now, what I will say, Yakuza 3 is my least favorite of these entire games. I talked about that when this game was leaked a week ago. Is there room to improve? Yes, but I feel like there's room to improve, pacing and things like that. I don't, the things that you can add to it, will they make the entire game? Will they bring it up to a whole new level? I don't know. And their history kind of would suggest that maybe it would actually do more harm than good. So we'll have to keep an eye on what specifically they are going to change. They do talk about it kind of being massively, overhauled and changed. So whether that's removing things, whether that's changing them altogether or adding, there's technically several ways that can go, right? We'll have to see how that works and all. And just as a quick addition, I'm recording this as I'm editing. The release date and price was actually just dropped. I think you might be able to pre-order it, but it's going to be $59.99, so a $60 game. That, I will tell you, is refreshing, and it's going to be out February 11th, 2026. So February, at the end of that month, Resident Evil, it's already kind of packed. So love it, honestly. Really quick turnaround, pretty darn soon in terms of the release date. And then $60. I will say that is a major win for everything else that we've been talking about and we will continue to talk about in this video. And then we got this side game that's actually attached to it called Dark Ties. You're going to be playing as Mine, which I like this. I think this is a pretty clever idea, being able to play as the antagonist and kind of seeing the rise of him, kind of taking a look at it from his perspective. See, this is something that I do think could maybe overall help Yakuza 3 as a separate entity, right? Kind of giving us a little bit more. I mean, one of the things I've talked about with 3 is just the reliance on the orphan orphanage and that you stay there for so long. Obviously, there's a lot of politics in 3, and I think it can kind of get in its own way a lot of the time, but maybe with this side thing, we can learn a little bit more about him and maybe kind of elevate him to a different level. I like this idea, and it comes packaged. You're going to get Kiwami 3, and you're going to get this Dark Ties thing along with it, and they talk about that there's no like forcing you to do one versus the other. You could buy it, you could do Dark Ties first and then 3, or you could do 3 and then Dark Ties. So pretty cool. They ended this, I think, with some sort of live action film thing that they're doing. It was kind of wild. It was honestly, I think, to be honest, it was a mess of a direct. The translating was abysmal. I don't know if I've ever seen anything as bad as it in terms of just pacing and my dear God. So, I mean, overall, I'm excited that it's officially official. We'll see what the changes. It's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on, but it is cool to have 3 back in this way, and we'll just see how it goes in the future. And like I said, in terms of the gameplay stuff, you know they're going to try to modernize that and make it as kind of clean as possible. So we'll see what the additional details gameplay-wise are, and then maybe we can cover that in a different video. So let me know what you think. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.